From the moment you plant a perennial, you're investing in years of effortless harvests. Imagine stepping into your garden next spring, next summer, and even a decade from now, and seeing vegetables, fruits, and herbs growing stronger without you lifting a finger. That's the power of perennial crops, and most gardeners have no idea how many edible plants will return on their own. Today we're diving into the 29 best perennial crops that can turn any garden into a long-lasting food system with almost no replanting required. Welcome back to Purely Garden. Perennials are the backbone of a resilient garden because once you plant them, they settle in, build the soil, and keep feeding you with dependable harvests every season. They save money, cut back on labor, and make your garden more stable and productive over time. In this video, we're breaking everything into 4 simple groups so you know exactly where each plant fits in your long-term garden plan. Let's get into the crops that give you endless harvests. Perennial number 1, asparagus. Asparagus earns its place at the top because it's the purest example of what a true perennial crop should be. Once planted, it spends the first couple of years rooting deeply, then rewards you with spring harvests that return stronger every season for decades. It thrives in a wide range of climates, from cold northern zones to warm southern regions, and its early spears arrive long before most vegetables even wake up. With just a yearly layer of mulch and a bit of patience at the start, asparagus becomes one of the most reliable, low-maintenance, and generous crops you can grow. Perennial number 2, rhubarb, the early spring powerhouse. Rhubarb is a perennial that announces the arrival of spring with its bright, thick stalks, making it a standout in any garden. Hardy in zones 3 through 8, it thrives in cooler climates and grows larger and more productive each year once established. Its tart, juicy stalks are perfect for pies, sauces, jams, and even savory dishes, while its deep roots help improve soil structure and retain moisture. Once planted, rhubarb requires minimal care, just a little mulch and occasional feeding, and it will return faithfully year after year, providing a dependable early-season harvest that gardeners come to rely on. Perennial number 3, artichokes, the edible thistle. Artichokes are a striking perennial that brings both beauty and bounty to the garden. Thriving in zones 7 through 11, they develop large, silvery green leaves and produce tender, flavorful flower buds that are as impressive to cook with as they are to look at. Once established, artichokes can produce for several years with minimal maintenance, offering harvests from spring into early summer. Their deep roots help them withstand dry spells, and their architectural foliage adds year-round interest, making them a perennial worth dedicating space to in any long-term garden plan. Perennial number 4, Jerusalem artichokes, the prolific tubers. Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes, are a hardy perennial that thrives in zones 3 through 9 and rewards gardeners with a remarkably prolific harvest. These tall, sunflower-like plants produce edible tubers that store well and taste nutty and slightly sweet, perfect for roasting, mashing, or adding to soups. Once planted, they spread easily and come back year after year, often multiplying beyond expectations, which makes them an ideal crop for gardeners seeking a reliable, low-maintenance food source. Their ability to grow in poor soils and tolerate drought further cements their place as a perennial staple in any sustainable garden. Perennial number 5, walking onions, the self-planting marvel. Walking onions are a unique perennial that practically plants themselves, making them one of the easiest crops to maintain year after year. Hardy in zones 3 through 9, these onions produce clusters of small bulbs at the tops of their stalks, which bend down and root in the soil, giving rise to new plants without extra effort. They provide tender green shoots throughout the growing season and full-sized bulbs at harvest, making them both decorative and highly productive. Their resilience, constant regeneration, and minimal care requirements make walking onions a must-have for any garden designed for long-term sustainable harvests. Perennial number 6, Darbanton's kale, the evergreen green. Darbanton's kale is a hardy perennial leafy green that keeps producing year after year, making it a garden favorite for zones 6 through 9. Unlike annual kale, it doesn't bolt in warm weather, allowing you to harvest tender, flavorful leaves well into late summer and even through mild winters. Its deep roots and sturdy growth habit make it exceptionally resilient to pests and fluctuating conditions, providing a dependable supply of nutrient-rich greens without replanting. With minimal care, Darbanton's kale becomes a long-term staple that ensures your garden always has fresh, healthy leaves on hand. Perennial number 7. Sea kale, the coastal delight. Sea kale is a tough, low-maintenance perennial that thrives in zones 4 through 8 and brings both ornamental beauty and edible value to the garden. Its large blue-green leaves form a striking rosette, and in spring it produces tender shoots and edible flower buds that can be steamed or sautéed like asparagus. Deep-rooted and drought-tolerant, sea kale establishes quickly and returns reliably year after year, making it perfect for gardeners seeking a hardy green that can withstand challenging conditions while providing a long-lasting, productive harvest. Perennial number 8. Good King Henry, the historic green. Good King Henry is a traditional perennial green that has been valued in European gardens for centuries and thrives in zones 3 through 9. Its tender shoots and leaves, reminiscent of spinach, appear early in the spring and continue producing throughout the growing season. This hardy plant tolerates a range of soil types and conditions, making it especially reliable for long-term cultivation. Once established, Good King Henry requires minimal maintenance and rewards gardeners with a steady supply of nutritious greens year after year, preserving a link to historic edible gardening while enhancing modern perennial gardens. Perennial number 9. Sorrel, the tangy leafy favorite. Sorrel is a hardy perennial that adds a bright, lemony flavor to salads, soups, and sauces, thriving in zones 3 through 9. Its fast-growing, tender leaves emerge early in spring and continue producing throughout the season, often returning year after year with little care. Sorrel's deep roots make it resilient to drought and poor soil conditions, while its ability to regrow quickly after harvesting ensures a continuous supply of fresh, tangy greens. For gardeners seeking a low-maintenance, flavorful perennial, sorrel is an indispensable addition that keeps giving with minimal effort. Perennial number 10. Strawberries, the everbearing sweet treat. Strawberries are a beloved perennial fruit that can provide sweet, juicy berries for years with minimal effort, thriving in zones 4 through 9. Everbearing varieties produce multiple harvests throughout the growing season, ensuring a steady supply of fresh fruit from early summer into fall. These low-growing plants also work beautifully as ground cover, suppressing weeds while decorating your garden with vibrant green foliage and delicate white blossoms. Once established, strawberries require little more than occasional mulching and watering, making them a dependable long-term source of fresh, delicious fruit for any garden. Perennial number 11. Raspberries, the reliable berry bush. Raspberries are a perennial favorite that deliver sweet, flavorful fruit year after year, thriving in zones 3 through 9. With both summer-bearing and fall-bearing varieties, they can provide multiple harvests each season, filling your garden with vibrant red or golden berries. Raspberries grow as upright, sturdy canes that expand over time, forming productive hedges that not only feed you but also attract pollinators. Once planted, they require minimal care beyond occasional pruning and support, making them a long-term, rewarding addition to any berry patch or perennial garden. Perennial number 12. Blackberries, the thornless bounty. Blackberries are hardy, vigorous perennials that thrive in zones 4 through 10, offering an abundant harvest year after year. Thornless varieties make them especially easy to grow and harvest, producing large, sweet berries that are perfect for fresh eating, jams, or freezing. Their canes spread over time, creating dense, productive bushes that provide both fruit and natural garden structure. With proper pruning and support, blackberries become a reliable, low-maintenance crop that continues giving season after season, making them a must-have for any perennial fruit garden. Perennial number 13. Blueberries, the acid-loving shrub. Blueberries are perennial shrubs that thrive in zones 3 through 8, producing sweet, nutrient-rich berries year after year when planted in acidic soil. They offer early to midsummer harvests and add beautiful fall foliage to the garden, making them both productive and ornamental. Blueberries benefit from consistent watering and occasional pruning, but once established, they require minimal maintenance and reward gardeners with reliable fruit for decades. Their long lifespan and high nutritional value make blueberries an essential addition to any perennial fruit patch. Perennial number 14. Currants, the underrated berry. Currants are hardy perennial shrubs that thrive in zones 3 through 8, producing clusters of tangy, flavorful berries each summer. Available in red, black, and white varieties, they are perfect for jams, jellies, and fresh eating, and they often ripen earlier than many other berries, giving you a head start on the season. Currants tolerate partial shade, making them ideal for spots in the garden where other fruiting plants struggle. And once established, they require little more than occasional pruning and feeding, offering years of reliable, low-maintenance harvests. Perennial number 15. Gooseberries, the tart and sweet treasure. Gooseberries are hardy perennials that flourish in zones 3 through 8, producing small, flavorful berries that range from tart to sweet. They are remarkably resilient, tolerating cooler climates and partial shade, which makes them versatile for a variety of garden conditions. Gooseberries form compact shrubs that, once established, provide reliable harvests year after year, with minimal care beyond pruning and occasional feeding. Their early summer fruiting and unique flavor make them a standout addition to any perennial fruit garden, offering both culinary versatility and long-term productivity. Perennial number 16. Grapes, the versatile vine. Grapes are long-lived perennial vines that thrive in zones 4 through 10, producing abundant clusters of sweet fruit year after year. Whether grown for fresh eating, juice, or wine, grapevines add vertical interest to the garden while maximizing space with their climbing habit. Once established, they require pruning and trellising, but minimal daily care, making them a low-maintenance yet highly productive perennial crop. Their ability to produce consistently for decades makes grapes a valuable and rewarding addition to any long-term edible landscape. Perennial number 17. Hardy kiwi, the bite-sized wonder. Hardy kiwi, also known as kiwi berries, is a perennial vine that thrives in zones 4 through 8 and produces small, smooth-skinned fruits packed with flavor. Unlike traditional kiwis, these bite-sized berries can be eaten whole and are surprisingly sweet and tangy. Once established, hardy kiwi vines are vigorous and long-lived, producing reliable harvests year after year with minimal maintenance beyond support and pruning. Their compact fruits and ornamental foliage make them a unique and productive addition to any perennial garden, offering both aesthetic appeal and a continuous source of nutritious berries. Perennial number 18. Elderberries, the immune-boosting shrub. Elderberries are hardy perennial shrubs that thrive in zones 3 through 10, producing clusters of small, dark berries prized for syrups, jams, and natural remedies. They grow quickly, establish easily, and return year after year with minimal care, making them an excellent choice for a low-maintenance perennial garden. Beyond their fruit, elderberries offer ornamental value with fragrant white blossoms in spring and lush green foliage through summer. Their versatility, resilience, and ability to provide abundant harvests over decades make elderberries a must-have for gardeners seeking both beauty and long-term productivity. Perennial number 19. Gooseberries, the superfood shrub. Gooseberries are hardy, drought-tolerant perennial shrubs that thrive in zones 5 through 9, producing vibrant red berries packed with antioxidants year after year. Once established, these resilient plants require minimal care, tolerating poor soils and varying weather conditions while continuing to yield abundant harvests. Gooseberries grow as dense, bushy shrubs that also provide striking ornamental value with their bright green foliage and clusters of red fruit. For gardeners seeking a long-lasting, nutrient-rich perennial, gooseberries are a rewarding choice that keeps giving season after season. Perennial number 20, rosemary. The evergreen Mediterranean favorite. Rosemary is a fragrant woody perennial herb that thrives in zones 7 through 10, providing year-round flavor and structure in the garden. Once established, it grows into a dense, aromatic shrub that requires minimal care beyond occasional pruning and well-drained soil. Its needle-like leaves can be harvested continuously for cooking, teas, or herbal remedies, and the plant's evergreen nature ensures your garden has visual interest even in winter. Rosemary's resilience, low-maintenance growth, and endless culinary uses make it an essential perennial herb for any long-term garden. Perennial number 21, thyme. The tiny powerhouse thyme is a versatile, hardy perennial herb that thrives in zones 4 through 9 and serves as both a culinary staple and a beautiful ground cover. Once established, it spreads slowly but steadily, forming dense mats of aromatic foliage that suppress weeds, attract pollinators, and retain soil moisture. Its tiny leaves pack immense flavor, making it indispensable for seasoning meats, vegetables, sauces, and even infused oils or teas. Thyme is remarkably resilient, tolerating drought, poor soils, and occasional neglect, and it produces small, delicate flowers that enhance the visual appeal of any garden bed or herb spiral. With minimal maintenance and continuous regrowth, thyme is a perennial that truly keeps giving, offering a combination of practicality, beauty, and unmatched flavor year after year. Perennial number 22, sage, the aromatic shrub. Sage is a hardy perennial herb that thrives in zones 4 through 8, offering both ornamental beauty and culinary value. Its soft, silvery green leaves provide a distinctive flavor for cooking, while the plant itself grows into a sturdy, low-maintenance shrub that returns year after year with minimal care. Sage is drought-tolerant once established, thrives in well-drained soil, and produces spikes of purple or blue flowers that attract pollinators and add visual interest to the garden. Its combination of resilience, aesthetic appeal, and flavorful leaves makes sage an indispensable perennial for any long-term edible or ornamental garden. Perennial number 23, oregano, the robust culinary staple. Oregano is a hardy, spreading perennial herb that thrives in zones 4 through 9, making it a reliable addition to any long-term garden. Once established, it forms dense, fragrant mats that suppress weeds and provide a continuous supply of flavorful leaves for cooking, from pizza and pasta to roasted vegetables and herbal teas. Oregano is remarkably resilient, tolerating drought, poor soil, and varying sunlight, and it produces small, delicate flowers that attract bees and other pollinators. Its low-maintenance nature, prolific growth, and year-after-year harvest make oregano an essential perennial herb that combines culinary utility with ornamental charm. Perennial number 24, mint. The tenacious flavor carrier mint is a perennial herb famous for its vigorous growth and refreshing aroma, thriving in zones 3 through 11. Once planted, it spreads rapidly through underground runners, creating lush, fragrant patches that provide an endless supply of leaves for teas, culinary dishes, and garnishes. Its resilience is unmatched. Mint tolerates a wide range of soils, partial shade, and occasional neglect, though it's best contained in pots or dedicated beds to prevent it from overtaking other plants. Beyond its culinary uses, mint attracts pollinators and adds vibrant greenery to garden spaces, making it both practical and ornamental. With continuous regrowth and minimal maintenance, mint is a perennial that delivers flavor and functionality season after season. Perennial number 25, chives. The subtle allium chives are a hardy, long-lived perennial herb thriving in zones 3 through 9, offering mild onion flavor and a constant source of edible greenery. Once established, clumps of chives return each year with minimal care, producing slender, hollow leaves that can be snipped repeatedly without harming the plant. In late spring to early summer, chives bloom with delicate purple flowers that attract bees and add subtle beauty to herb gardens, borders, or containers. Their compact growth, continuous harvest, and adaptability to various soil types make chives a practical and ornamental perennial, ideal for gardeners seeking flavor, ease, and year-after-year productivity. Perennial number 26. Lovage. The celery substitute lovage is a towering aromatic perennial herb that thrives in zones 3 through 8, producing celery-flavored leaves, stalks, and seeds that can be used in soups, stews, and salads. Once established, it forms large, robust plants that return every year with minimal attention, quickly filling gaps in the garden with edible foliage. Its deep roots make it resilient to drought and less fertile soils, while its tall stature creates natural shelter for smaller plants nearby. Lovage also produces small umbels of yellow-green flowers in summer that attract beneficial insects, making it both a functional and ecologically valuable addition. With continuous growth, bold flavor, and low maintenance, lovage is a perennial herb that rewards patience with years of reliable harvests. Perennial number 27. French tarragon. The gourmet touch French tarragon is a fragrant perennial herb that thrives in zones 4 through 8 and brings a subtle anise-like flavor to dishes, elevating sauces, dressings, and roasted vegetables. Once established, it forms dense, woody-stemmed plants that return each year with minimal effort, producing aromatic leaves throughout the growing season. Tarragon prefers well-drained soil and sunny spots, and its compact, elegant form adds ornamental value to herb gardens or kitchen beds. Resistant to pests and remarkably hardy, French tarragon provides gardeners with a dependable, flavorful perennial that continues delivering culinary excellence year after year. Perennial number 28. Horseradish. The spicy root powerhouse horseradish is a bold, hardy perennial that thrives in zones 3 through 9, delivering pungent, flavorful roots that can be harvested year after year with minimal effort. Once planted, it establishes deep, robust roots that push through the soil, expanding steadily and producing an abundant supply of spicy rhizomes that add zest to sauces, condiments, and culinary creations. Its vigorous growth makes it virtually unstoppable, and while it spreads readily, this tenacity ensures a constant, reliable harvest for decades without replanting. Beyond its culinary uses, horseradish is remarkably resilient to pests, drought, and poor soil conditions, thriving in a variety of garden environments and requiring only occasional thinning to maintain productivity. For gardeners seeking a low-maintenance, high-impact perennial, horseradish offers an unbeatable combination of flavor, durability, and long-term yield, making it an indispensable addition to any sustainable food garden. Perennial number 29. Watercress. The perennial aquatic green watercress is a fast-growing, nutrient-rich perennial that thrives in zones 5 through 9, wherever there is a constant supply of clean, flowing water, such as a pond, stream, or water feature. Once established, it forms dense mats of peppery, crisp leaves that can be harvested continuously throughout the growing season, providing a steady supply of fresh greens with minimal effort. Its rapid regrowth and ability to thrive in watery environments make it an exceptionally low-maintenance perennial, while its vibrant flavor enhances salads, sandwiches, soups, and garnishes. Watercress also contributes to the ecological health of a garden by stabilizing water edges and supporting aquatic insects, combining productivity, flavor, and environmental benefits in one remarkable plant that keeps giving year after year. Which of these 29 perennial crops are you most excited to grow in your own garden? Share your favorites in the comments below, because hearing what inspires you helps other gardeners discover new ideas for long-term, low-maintenance harvests. If you're ready to take your garden to the next level, make sure to subscribe to Purely Garden for more tips on sustainable gardening, perennial planting strategies, and creative ways to maximize your harvest year after year. Don't forget to explore our related videos on designing perennial gardens, choosing the best berries for small spaces, and extending your growing season so you can enjoy fresh, homegrown produce for even longer. Thank you for watching Purely Garden and joining us on this journey through the 29 perennial crops that promise endless harvests. Remember, the magic of perennials is that you plant once and reap the rewards season after season, saving time, effort, and resources while building a resilient, productive garden. Whether you're growing vegetables, fruits, herbs, or bonus crops like horseradish and watercress, these plants are a long-term investment in both flavor and sustainability. Plant once, harvest forever. That's the perennial promise, and it starts with the choices you make today. See you in the next video, and happy gardening.